Lordo, it was top against bottom last night at Marvel Stadium. The Pies got the job done. West Coast are okay.
Yeah, teams are coming hard for Collingwood. Here's Scott Pendlebury speaking after the game about what went wrong in that first half.
Yeah, we knew they've been really competitive in games, and yeah, I think early on we were just trying to be a little bit too cute, and yeah, we just sort of got realigned to what we wanted. We felt our pressure and that was good. We just, we struggled all night to really finish the play. And
yeah, what does too cute look like? And that was over handballing. I thought they handballed far too much and they just ran themselves into pressure. And Nick Daicos was a part of that. I think that they, whether it's because he's been getting tagged a lot or that just that he draws the ball so much, I think Nick sort of was causing a bit of trouble in that first half where they were generating just too many handballs, which didn't need to happen. And, when pressure's on, you're just inviting that pressure with that handball stuff. So even Ned Long, because he's not the best kick, he looks to bring the handballs in. And then West Coast loved it. They just kept pressing in, loved the pressure game. There's another one. So that handball's fine. But then I'll go kick that. You've got to kick that inboard. Gives it to Nick again. Pressure. And West Coast absolutely loved it. Well, this is where the change came after half-time. This is why Collingwood are the best in the business. Their ability to adjust forward, just say, give me a one-on-one chance. That's all I'm asking for. McStay, Membry, Pendlebury, there he is, kicking the ball in nice and long. One-on-one chance, the game opened up. And this one, they messed around for a while. Pendle says, no, let's just take territory, get it to that period about 10, 15 metres out for goal, and this is what can happen. So that's where they're very good. Collingwood can adjust really well on the run.
Is that a conversation they'll have with Nick Daicos and the broader team with Craig McRae? Because he got a lot of handballs last night that got himself into trouble. Yes, he's been tagged a fair bit, but is that a conversation worth having now? Yeah,
it's a strong conversation, but I think that they'll have him at Collingwood. That against the better side, they wouldn't get away with it, with what they dished up last night with too much handball and running into traffic, which isn't helping the team.
Just on that, Lloyd, it was clearly a focus, though, given the attention he'd received and maybe just coming off a few percentage points off what he played last year. Now, he's still been a very good season, but they've got him back in the game, haven't they, with the Windhager tag of last week and again last night. He possibly has got 6 Brownlow votes.
Yeah, and he wants the ball that much, Isaac, that he will just do whatever he can to get it. But it's just, and he's a smart guy. He can adjust to that, you think?
Yeah, well, what I love most about it was I reckon West Coast identified that they want to give it to Nick at all costs, and I love their pressure. They didn't all collapse on the guy with the ball. They had different layers coming in, and they had a count for Nick. And I reckon it's a nice little blueprint for other teams in the back half of the season.
Yeah, and one guy that wasn't too cute in the first half was Pendles himself, actually. He had an unbelievable first half, and this is why you need senior players in your side, because they stand up when things are getting tough and you're getting challenged as a side. He stood up in the contest. He had 9 clearances, 8 score involvements, and yeah, he was. Him and Sidey were there to steady the ship when they most needed it.
I thought in the first half when Collingwood weren't going well, he was the one. He played a full 4-quarter performance when most Magpies didn't.
Right through to kicking that nice goal right at the very end of the game. Look, as we look at what he did throughout the course of the game, right through to the very end, we'll take a look at what lies ahead for Collingwood, because they have got a rare luxury of what lies ahead. So 8 matches remaining, and you can take and make your own views on the quality of opponent that they are now playing. That they are 10 premiership points clear, and I think arguably, Izzy, they have got the biggest wild card in the game to return by the name of Jordan De Goey, who has twice stood up big time in finals campaigns of 2018 and 2023, right through to the grand final of both of those campaigns. They've put him away, hasn't played since their last and their second loss to Geelong some weeks ago. It's a lower leg injury, it's an Achilles injury, but they're getting him right for a possible 6-week crack at the run home.
Yeah, and this is what you want going into the finals, and I think it's as open as any year, as we've seen. But Collingwood, as you said, clear on top of the ladder. They've got some tough games in there to condition them for finals as well. They've got Adelaide late, second last game of the year, but I think we'll see Collingwood, they'll manage to go really well, try and get him firing for finals. The other one, Tom Mitchell, he's getting his numbers back up after being injured as well. So they've got depth. The beauty is when you're in their position, you can start to manage your team in this back half of the year, because the team that'll win it this year are the team that are most fresh coming into finals.
At what point do you just stick to the team, though, that's going to be playing finals?
I think what you want to do is you want to stick 80-85% of the team. So you want to have 18 players that you're set on, and then you can pull a Pendlebury out, you can pull a Sidebottom out, you can rest a Darcy Moore for a week. If Myercheck's sore because he's so important to them, you pull him out. So you can start to pull those levers a little bit, but you certainly want your core players. And I think the ones that are not necessarily your stars playing every week.
Does Tom Mitchell make his way back into that side?
I reckon he does come finals, and the only reason I say that is because of his contested possession work. And you go back to the grand final 2 years ago, I thought he was their most important player that day. I thought
Who's he replaces?
Well, that's the hard thing.
Yeah,
then you've got to find someone to take out.
Push side bottom to a wing.
Ned Long's playing that role at the moment.
And there'll be injuries come late in the year. You don't get a clean run of health from now all the way to the grand final. So he'll get his opportunity, and then he's just got to take it.
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. The Pies went 10 points clear on the top of the AFL ladder with a good win against the West Coast Eagles. 29 points in the end. They did it late, Lordo.
Yeah, it was a very even performance from Collingwood. Well done to the West Coast Eagles. One of their better performances of the season, despite the loss. So if they can keep that up, they may win another game or two before the year's out. But, Brownie, it was 8 goals to 2 after half-time. A fantastic adjustment by Collingwood. Ned Long been good enough to join us this morning. Ned, can you talk us through some of the coaching from the coaches or just the senior players at Collingwood about how you turned that game around last night?
Yeah, I think they came out really strong, and they were really strong in the contest. And so, I think around us it was just sticking to our system and knowing that over 4 quarters that if we continue to follow our process, it'll be strong enough to get over the line. So I think we're a little bit stronger in the contest, and then just some smarter ball use decisions in the second half really helped us.
So we did touch on that earlier about, Pendles used the word too cute after the game. Did you believe that was part of it, despite how good their pressure was?
Sort of like you're saying, I think we invited the pressure a little bit by being too cute, overusing it by hand. Pressure really strong and they're really coming at us, but we invited that by overusing hands. So just getting a little bit more territory in the second half, I think, made a big difference and allowed our forwards to get in some one-on-ones, and it was a much better look for us.
Hey, Ned, you're by far you're the best side in the competition. That's why you're 2.5 games clear. But does Fly ever talk about the fact that teams will bring a greater effort because they're taking on the best in Collingwood?
I think we have spoken about it. I think we've spoken out trying to, flip that approach and become the hunters rather than the hunted. So we try and come out against whoever we're playing and come with a real aggression and a lot of pressure, no matter the game. We try and flip that around.
Ned, congratulations on your performance again. 21 disposals, 6 clearances. As a clearance player, are you confused about the holding the ball rule at the moment? There's a couple of contentious ones last night.
It has been a little bit confusing, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's always been a little bit hard. It's a very hard game to umpire, so I'm not acting like I'd do a better job myself, but it can be a little bit confusing at times.
This is the one, Brownie, where Ned himself was flipped.
Yeah.
Play on, but then Duggan just gets wrapped
the
up.
two differences in 10 seconds,
I'd let both of them play on. I'd rather see the game move and flow. But Ned, while you're on anyway, I listened to Nick Daicos after the game as well, and he said Fly's given him the freedom to get as many contests as possible, and sometimes he may get burnt going back the other way. Does that mean you've got to pick up the slack for him?
I think our whole team sort of works pretty well together and we're pretty connected. So, Nick definitely works hard. I think he works hard both ways. But, because he's so powerful and so good in offence, he definitely has a bit of a licence to get after it more that way. And then I guess it's between the rest of us midfielders as well as our defenders to sort of make sure that nothing's slipping through the cracks.
And it's as good as I've seen you guys look after him last week, getting stuck into markers too. So that's been a clear focus to help look after him in these situations when tagged.
Yeah, absolutely. They come pretty hard at him, obviously, the Melbourne game and then the St Kilda game. And, I think it's just been a focus. We support him and he's one of us. And if they come at him, we come right back at them. So, I think it's been really strong. And, you saw it really strongly in that St Kilda game.
And Ned, let's talk about the fine wine in Scott Pendlebury. 28 disposals, a goal. He took the P155 there in the centre bounce all night. He was able to get separation. Just tell us a little bit about him.
He's just class. As you're seeing in a few of these highlights, he just, I don't know how he does it. He just finds a way to get separation, and he doesn't have to go too fast, but he just knows exactly what to do and where to be, and times it perfectly. And then ball in hand, he's probably one of the best in the comp. So, yeah, he's a special player and seems like he's got a lot of footy left in him.
And then as you continue to talk about Scotty Pendlebury being 37 years old and the oldest player in the competition, there's also an investment from Craig McRae into people like yourself who've had chances at other footy clubs and are still young in the game. When you look at Charlie West being part of last night's team, Charlie Dean, Ed Allen, and obviously you can speak to this experience yourself given the investment that Craig McRae has made in you to help make Collingwood better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've spoken about it before. I think Fly's belief in players is really strong, and it's helped me go a long way. Where our VFL program's going really well at the moment, and we've got a lot of boys playing really strong footy in there. And so both Charlie West and Charlie Dean more than deserve their game, and that's what happens when you're in a good team. You've got a lot of players that deserve games, and sometimes it's hard to get in. But yeah, Fly's really good at giving boys a chance and then instilling that belief that they're good enough at the level to perform. So yeah, I think he does that really well.
Ned, I think most people thought you'd win that game by 10 plus goals, bordering on 100 points last night, top against bottom. What impressed you about the West Coast Eagles?
Yeah, I as I mentioned it just before, but their contest was really strong. They're really aggressive and came out hard. Their defence and their pressure was really good. And then I thought ball in hand, they probably surprised us a little bit with sort of how they moved the ball. And so, yeah, I thought they played a really balanced game and showed up for, all 4 quarters.
The votes last night, Ned, all Magpies. Scott Pendlebury clearly best on ground for mine because he used it really, really well. Nick Daicos was good. Josh Daicos is having a wonderful year. And I loved how, when the game was going against Collingwood in that first half, I thought he was magnificent.
Couldn't get Ned in?
No, couldn't. But he's had another good game.
Best prize pack in the business, a family pass to Gumbaya World, where water slides, thrill rides and wildlife collide. Just don't get out the quackers.
They bite.
A Hit Fit membership, combined body weight and boxing for a full body workout. You got a good rig yourself. You'll be best dressed on the course thanks to Clutch & Co. And we'll kit you out in Catstar, Brad Close's clothing brand. Be Close, your swing, your style. A box of Chrome Tour golf balls and a cap thanks to Callaway. Bar Fridges Australia are back for all your beer and wine cooling needs. A pair of Aquila's premium quality footwear since 1958. I think Jakey Melksham's got about 12 of those. A pair of Rick's eyewear that inspires confidence. And TJ, not here today, but he might be having a free meal down at Platform 28, the best pub in the Docklands. And elevate your wardrobe with the latest streetwear style from St. Goliath. 2 pairs of hybrid undies in a mid and a long leg from the Better Collection. They've sewn elastic into the groin line, which is an absolute game changer, Rory. Trust me, I've got some. Treat yourself to a batch of Daniel's Donuts. Book a delivery online today. And some nice caps from Travis Matthew. That is the big prize pack. Ned, we really appreciate you giving up your time on a Sunday. You got the Blue Baggers next Friday night or Saturday, I think.
Friday night.
Yeah, next Friday night.
Appreciate you giving up your time. Good luck for the Pies for the rest of the season.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Apologies for saying goodbye twice, but, I don't just a couple of chances to get Ned back on there.